Hi, my name is Beth.
My name is Lauren Finch.
My name is Jalissa, and I will be sharing my testimony.
I think a lot of people in my life know that I'm a Christian, but I haven't had enough conversations with people to explain to them why I'm a Christian. That's what I want to do now in 3 minutes, tell you why every day I still choose to follow Christ.
Even though I grew up in the church, in high school I started questioning the reality of God and the need for faith in my life.
I was born and raised in a Christian family, and I've accepted my faith as my own since a young age.
I never really went to church, and my family never talked about him. At some points I believed in God, at other points I didn't, but I never really knew God.
Even though I knew about Christ, my life was not centered on him.
I wasn't really good at school, wasn't really good at sports, but I was good at following the rules.
I've always fought with relying on my own strength in many aspects of my life.
I've really looked for my security in my performance.
When I would sin, I felt as though I failed God, and that because of my sin, God would in turn reject me. I was looking to my own works and my own not sinning streaks for salvation.
I knew then I was living a double life, and I was very ashamed of it. But nevertheless, God continued to point me to Him.
I had grown up going to church, but that first night at youth group, I started to understand what it meant to have a relationship with Christ.
I was forced to trust in God's plan for me more than ever because I couldn't trust myself, because I really had no clue what I was doing with my life.
Through opening up to my Christ-centered community, I was able to lean on God in a way that I had never done before. During my loneliest times and feeling like I had nowhere else to turn, I began to dig into my faith and what it looks like to follow God.
I felt God draw me to Himself as I was yearning to live a purposeful life while realizing the shallowness of my current life.
If only I had understood the God that I claimed to follow.
I began to believe in the gospel and to believe that Jesus saved me from my sins.
While it's not perfect, my life of following Jesus is a life of joy.
The person of Jesus was different than I expected him to be. The gospel taught that Jesus was giving grace in abundance for the shortcomings of all who followed him, and that no injustice was unnoticed or unaccounted for by God.
He does not simply want our obedience, He wants our affection and a relationship. He is for our good always, and He is where the joy is.
Daily, God has been showing me that what it looks like to live out my faith through sharing my faith and continuing to learn all that God has for me. My name is Christian Lindblom, and this is just a small part.
This is just a small part.
This is just a small part of
how my story,
my story,
and how it fits into the greater story of God.
So if you are watching this and you have any questions and you would like to connect,
please feel free to reach out. And I want to invite you.
I want to invite you.
I want to invite you.
I want to invite you to join the story.